I want to do a little thing on weeding here. One of the most important things to understand about weeds and where they come from and why they're so incessant is their life cycle. And weeds basically have an annual cycle. They grow, they produce a flower which turns into a seed, and then the seed drops and starts the cycle all over again. So here's what's important to understand is if you can grab that weed and get rid of it before the seed is produced, you can interrupt the cycle entirely. The minute that those seeds start to drop again, you've missed it. Now you've got the whole cycle has to run again, and you need to try and interrupt it before they produce a seed. And certain weed types are very quick about how fast they throw out a flower, which turns into a seed, which drops back into the soil. So if you understand that cycle, you understand a lot about when you need to be proactive about weeding. So I'm going to show you an example in my garden where I haven't been proactive, and I've been dealing with this one little weed patch for over a year. And this is a little type of clover-like weed. I'm not good on weed names. I just know it's a clover-like thing. So look at this right here. First you get a flower like this, okay? Then see these little black seeds? They're green at first, then they're black. That little black bit is the seed. And as you can see, they look like little blackberries. There are hundreds of these things ready to drop for me to deal with next year or later this year. A lot of these things turn around and do multiple cycles in one year. This little guy is the same. This is hard to see. So here's how I've watered this thing 3 times to get this really soft, so when I come in here and weed, you see how I was able to get the root out? Okay, now this has hundreds of little seeds sitting here on top. These aren't really dropping yet, these are more flowers. But in midsummer, this is the end of July, this particular weed is really all over the place. And if you look at these, this little thing is dropping tons of seeds already, okay? So that's the main thing about weeds. And then here's a little type of grass. These things are the fastest weed I've ever seen in my life. It shows up in lawns a lot. And see, here's the seed drying out, and there's probably about 3 dozen seeds on that little head alone. So see these guys in here? See all the little ones? Again, I weeded this about 2 months ago. You'd never know. And I don't like to use herbicides in my garden any more than I have to. Typically I don't use any, but if you're not going to, you've got to be ahead of these things before they bloom. See this grass here? There's the seed head, and all those little brown guys, those are the seeds. So that's your weeding lesson for today. Stay ahead of them is the main thing I would tell you, and try and get them before those flowers turn into a seed head.